Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Matt's Finds. I'm Matt Waters, and what Matt's Finds channel is a channel where we go to thrift stores, auctions, yard sales, and we try to find the coolest, rarest, most valuable collectibles and show them off to you guys out there. So what we're going to do today is going to be a quick 21 question and answer that we've been polling our subscribers online and on Facebook and other social media sites. So here we go with the first couple of questions.
All right. Question number 1. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Spartanburg, South Carolina, in the hospital, but I grew up in Duncan, South Carolina my whole life.
Okay. What was your favorite subject in school?
In school, I had a bunch of favorite subjects. I actually liked going to school because you always got to learn something new, but I'd have to say my favorite subject was like reading and language arts. I loved like reading books, and I also loved writing short stories, but other than that, it would also have to be history class.
All right. The third question we got here. What kind of music do you enjoy?
Oh man, I like all kinds of music except for like something that's just like weird sounds, like a bunch of just looks like some mechanic threw his drill in the air and just whatever landed, that was the noise. I'm not a fan of that kind of music, but I love everything from like rock, heavy metal, rap, hip hop, country. I like it all. It doesn't really matter, but I mainly listen to heavy metal.
Okay. The fourth question. Do you have a favorite book or like a book series?
I didn't really have a favorite like book, so to say, because as I was growing up, most of the books were already movies, so I actually saw like the movie first compared to books. But I did like the Goosebumps series growing up. I made sure I read just about every one of those books that I could. I know I didn't get to read them all, but one day I'll try to pick back up on that.
Okay. Question number 5. Do you have any pets?
I do have pets. I have 2 pit bulls. One's like an albino pink-bellied one that we named Clara, and the other one is a red nose that we named Rainy. And then I have 10 chickens and 4 ducks.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
I'm Star Wars all day, man. I loved Star Wars growing up. Like, I watched some Star Trek growing up, like late night. I think it was called Voyager or something like that. But as far as like the toys, the movies, the clothing, all that, as a little child, of course I love Star Wars, and I still love Star Wars to this day, so I'm gonna have to go with Star Wars.
Do you have a favorite pie?
I do have a favorite pie. I love pecan pie, and I'm glad you asked that because it wants to tell me a quick short story real fast about how my grandma Waters growing up had these like 4 huge pecan trees, and I mean these were some old ones, right? And every time that the pecans would fall and they were ready to be picked, she would call me over and say, hey, come pick some pecans and I'll make you a pecan pie. And man, my grandma Waters had the best pecan pie. To this day, nobody has been able to recreate my grandmother's recipe the way she made it. Although we have the recipe, we still don't know what her secret was to that real soft bottom crust. But I would go over there and pick pecans for like a whole weekend and have just buckets, and then she would just make me all kinds of pecan pies.
Is there a charity you are passionate about?
I'm very passionate about 2 charities. I'm very passionate about the Wounded Warrior Project because without our soldiers and U.S. servicemen and women, we would not be able to have the freedoms we do in our country that we all love and enjoy. We're all Americans, and we all got to help our soldiers out that's over there fighting for our freedoms. And I also love the Shriners Hospital charity because I highly believe in what those guys do. They're taking care of those children, and they help them out with funding and hospital bills, surgeries, and everything else that they could possibly need.
Who inspired you to do YouTube?
The main person that inspired me to do YouTube was a guy that's on YouTube. That's his channel's name, Omar Gosh. I'm pretty sure that's not his last name, but Omar Gosh inspired me to do a YouTube channel because he's just pretty cool. He was passionate about the stuff he does. He does like everyday vlogs, and he does paranormal activity. So he kind of won me over on both sides of his channel.
You also do scrap metal art. Where do you get the metal and ideas for your artwork?
Well, that's pretty much the answer right there. Is I find this stuff, guys. Like, I do construction. I'm a commercial plumber. So what I do basically is like if I see something get thrown in the dumpster that looks cool or I can see something out of it, I'll throw it in the back of the truck and just bring it home. And then over a couple of weeks or months, stuff just builds up in a big pile. And then I just kind of pick through it and look at stuff and I just visualize like, hey, this could be a turtle, or hey, this could be, you know, a gun or something like that. So I just see it as I get it and just make scrap metal art.
Who do you look up to the most?
Oh, I look up to my mom the most because she's inspired me to keep pushing in life through everyday struggles, because I've watched my mom struggle as a single parent growing up, raising me and my brother, and she always worked hard at the BMW manufacturing plant. And I mean, she really inspired me to keep pushing no matter what.
How do you come across all the neat stuff that you find?
Oh man, that's the mystery in itself, because I go to yard sales and thrift stores and antique shops and live auctions, and like the old saying is, you never know what's going to come through that door, or you never know what you're going to find. And to me, that's the thrill of doing what I do on this channel, is I love to just randomly say, hey, let's go to this one particular thrift store I like. So let's go there, and I'll go there and spend maybe just an hour just looking around, and I always come out with something unique and cool. So I always got to snag it up and just show you guys out there what I find. But I also like going to like antique shops and the little ma and pa shops, you know, like I just like vintage and antique stuff.
Do you have a favorite sport?
I like football and baseball. Those are my two go-to sports I like the most. I mean, I like all sports, anything competitive I like, but if I'm gonna be stuck like at a stadium all day partying or tailgating, I'd rather be at a football game or baseball game.
Who's your college sports team?
Oh man, I gotta go with the Clemson Tigers. That's my team since I was born. We've always been a Tiger family, and in the recent years coming, they've been doing really great in their football program, and I'm really proud of those guys. And they're going to the national championship this year as well against LSU. So I guarantee you one thing about that game: the Tigers are going to win.
Do you have a favorite board game to play on rainy days?
I like the game Monopoly like everyone else in the world, but when it comes to board games and stuff, like we play some board games with my family. Like we like to play like Scrabble and Sorry and stuff like that. But my favorite of all, like say the board game genres, I'd have to go with Uno, man. Who doesn't love a good classic game of Uno? Like me and my family, we get competitive. Like we'll come out, we'll cook a dinner on a Saturday night or something, we'll eat, and then we'll say, all right, get the score pad and the Uno cards, and then it's game on after that.
If you could travel back in time, what period would you go to and why?
Oh man, my favorite time period back in the day would probably have to be like the Roman Empire. I would have loved to have like walked around that and seen how everything was back in the day, from all the marble floor and statues and all the pillars and all like the Greek god legends like Hercules and Zeus and Neptune and stuff. I would have just loved to have been in that time period just to, for a couple of days. I wouldn't want to live there forever. No, it was, you know, that ended in tragedy, but you know, I would like to go back to those days just for like a week's vacation, just to see how it was.
Are you a summer or winter person?
Oh man, I hate winter time. Winter time, that's just slow mo, nothing to really do around here in South Carolina. Like during the winter time, you won't see too many yard sales, so there's not really too many good finds. But thank God, like, you know, thrift stores are always open in the winter, so I go to thrift stores and live auctions. But I like summer much better because I live in South Carolina, so we have everything here. We got the woods, the beach, you know, we got the swamp, we got alligators, bears, we got all the snakes, all the bugs, all the spiders. It's, you know, it's like a little miniature Australia down here in South Carolina. So I love the summertime because that's when everything's alive and popping. You can go swimming in a lake or go to the beach or have a picnic or something. So yeah, I'm definitely a summertime person.
What's one thing people would never know by looking at you?
One thing by looking at me, now, I mean, I know you can see like the ink on my arm, like right here and right here and right here, but Other than that, if I'm wearing like a long sleeve shirt and say like some dress pants or something, and you would just look at me, you wouldn't know that I have probably over 27 different tattoos like scattered all over, especially like on my legs. My legs are covered.
What do you do for a living?
I touched base on that earlier, but I do commercial plumbing for a living. That's when we do like businesses and huge buildings like high-rise motels and apartment complex buildings. We do anything from doctor's offices to dentist offices. A lot of medical buildings we do, but yeah, we do the hardy plumbing.
Who dat?
Who dare?
And the last question, do you have any weird food combinations that you like?
I got one weird food combination that everybody looks at me like, oh, that's not so bad. And it probably isn't, but it's really good. I used to do this all the time when I was a kid, and I still do it to this day. You got to go out there and get yourself one of those containers of the butter pecan ice cream, right? And then it has to be the Lay's barbecue chips. I've tried it with other barbecue chips, and it just doesn't, it's not the same. Take some Lay's barbecue chips, get you a bowl of butter pecan ice cream, and crunch a big, huge handful up over it and just kind of mix it around. Oh my God, that is so good, y'all. Y'all gotta try that. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's 21 questions and answers video. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something about me today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions that you want to see on the next video we do. We always love answering our fans' questions, so go ahead and write something down there, and be sure to hit that like button down below, guys. I hope you have a great day and stay safe, and as always, peace.